Mink coat and a mink jacket transformed into 2 throws and 2 pillows. So I was given a light mink coat, a dark mink jacket, a striped vest, and a white sweater mink. And I was able to make 2 throws and 2 pillows. The short-waisted dark mink was really nice to work with. Here's the monogram with the lining. The customer opted to keep her lining. Here's the striped mink vest, and on the back was leather, and we decided that we were going to use that leather for the pillow. Here is the white mink, and the white mink was not in the greatest condition. It was tearing and pulling apart. I had to secure it really well in order to use it for the borders. And here is the longer, lighter mink. And here they are all together. And from here I deconstructed all the furs. I'm making strips. Excuse me, I have a little cold, so I'm going to sound a little nasally. And I'm using the white mink here, and I'm cutting the strips for the border. There wasn't enough of the white mink to use it to make full-size strips, but enough to use it as a border. Here are the pieces put together, and I'm just trying to make combinations to see what we liked better. So we had the striped mink, and we decided that we were going to use that with the darker mink and use the white around the edge of the lighter mink. And yes, it looks like it's a hodgepodge, but this is kind of what it looks like before it all gets put together. This is the lining, so I'm attaching additional lining to the original lining, and I need to quilt that, so I do it on my long arm machine, and it works really well. And I pick a design that I'm going to be able to make really nice long straight stitches to help secure the lining with the fur. This is a white cotton that I use on top of the skin, and it's there to protect the skin, and I pin it all in place. And then from here I'm going to clip a ribbon around also to help secure it. I secure it by using my fur machine to attach the ribbon and to attach the white cotton all around the edge. Here I'm taking those little safety pins out, and I'm also going to secure the throw in different areas, and I'm securing the white cotton to the actual fur. So this way, when you pick it up or when it's going to be handled, there's a little bit more support. Vintage furs can tear very easily and separate, so it's really important that we try to secure as much as we can without damaging any of the fur. And there are the supporting stitches, and they're scattered about the top, and we're going to put the two pieces together, the backing and the fur, and we're going to put right sides together. Once it's all secure with pins, I bring it to my sewing machine and I put it all together. Here I am hand sewing the closure of the seam. I'm using what they call an invisible stitch, and you put the needle into one part of the fabric and you kind of hide it within the folds, and then you move over to the other side and you just keep moving back and forth and back and forth. I do this until the whole seam is secured. Once the opening is closed, it is time to work on the backing and attaching the backing to the fur pelt. So I am tacking down the safety pins between the backing and the fur, and I'm going to be using a special needle. It's called a Glover's needle. This needle is extremely sharp and has a triangular point on it. It is sharp enough to pierce the backing, the batting, and the fur. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stitching a line of stitches in the seam, and that's called stitching in the ditch. So I'm just doing a bunch of little straight stitches along the edge. And here I am going to be using a tool. It's a special tool. It's called a quick clip, and there's a metal end, and what you do is you slide that under the needle, and that just prevents the needle from piercing your finger as you are working. And you'll see I have a lot of different things on my fingers. I pierce my fingers quite a bit, so anything to help prevent that is a bonus on my part. Once the edges all the way around are secured, you then start to work on the center portion of the throw. So again, you're going to use running stitches that go through the border area into the center part of the backing. And I eventually switch over to a black thread to match the black that runs through the center. The final measurement of the dark brown with the tan trim was 44 by 48. And the lighter brown with the white mink trim was 53 by 48 inches. There was enough fur left over that we were able to make 2 fur pillows from that as well. As you can see, it really came out beautiful. It's just absolutely lovely. The monogram in the corner. It's very striking and definitely stands out. It's just so pretty. Again, the monogram also included on the backing. And here are the 2 pillows. One's 16 by 16, the other is 14 by 14. The leather on the left and the lining from one of the jackets right there on the right hand side, also including 2 of the monograms. Come visit us at dinahsquilts.com.